Howdy, folks. Sexy saxophone music. How you guys doing tonight? Hi, Mr. Torrance. Cool. Well, we actually have a surprising amount of people here. I'm very excited about this. So, we got the MAKB directors, Sir Ken Wood, Mr. Nelson DaCosta, and the one and only Sean the Fisherman. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm doing good.
Well. Torrance, I'm as excited as you are about this season.
Are we on screen? I can only see the.
Oh, we're ready to go, Ken.
Yeah, all I got is the banner.
Yeah, man. Amateur.
This is bizarre because that's not what I see, but let's see.
I was promised Ken's
There you go.
face. Yes.
There you go.
All right, rookie mistake. I can't see it on my end. That's kind of bizarre, but whatever.
Nice.
Well, you guys
All right.
arrived.
Hey, what's happening?
How's it going, everybody?
What's happening?
We're off to a kick-ass
After
start.
I know, right?
All right. Who's the cat wrangler here? Am I going to cat wrangle? Ken, you going to cat? You're the boss, Ken. You should be cat wrangling.
I'm not. John's in charge.
John,
He's
you cat
running the
wrangle.
show.
Let's go. All right, so we're gonna start with the Eastern Division schedule.
We're just
Ken,
going
you
to
got
run
that
right into
ready?
it?
Run right into it. I mean,
All right, yeah.
why
I
waste
cer-
time? We're already running late as it is.
I certainly do. Let's see. So, right off the bat. So, all right. So, here's the thing. Some of these I don't have permits for yet. Some of them are town events or town ramps. So, things get a little weird with that. Like, we're going to go back to Massapog in Sharon. And that's like, if the last time we were there, we were like the first people to ever have a tournament there, like at least kayaking. They didn't know what the hell we were doing. Remember the cops came the morning of?
Cop was cool with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cop
he
was
was
like excited about it.
Yeah, he was an angler, so it was like a big deal. So we're going back there. They're trying to work out how things are going to work. So let's see. So yeah, some of them I do have permits back for. I believe 3 of them so far. So they're a little behind. I don't know why it's taking so long for some of these. But anyway, so first event is going to be April 16th, and we're going to go. I'm excited about this one because I missed it this year, but we're going to go back to Walker's Pond and Upper Lower Mill Ponds down in what's that? Barnstable. Brewster.
It's Brewster.
Yeah.
That place
So
is
great,
awesome.
great fisheries. I mean, you guys crushed it last year. Or a couple, actually, Mike Morcone did. But that was a tough day, if I recall, right?
From
John,
what
were
I
you there?
remember, I was not. I was with you, but I remember
That's
following
right.
the standings. But we know what that place has in store.
Yeah.
It has a
So that
crazy good potential.
Yeah, so that'll be good. That's three connected ponds, smallie, largemouth, and then so April 30th we're gonna go back to Snippatuit. Nobody's gonna have any complaints about that one. May 7th, New Bedford Reservoir. That one's a little weird because again they don't have tournaments there a lot, so we're gonna work on that. Hopefully we can make that work. Then May 28th we're gonna do Lake Massapog. And that's in Sharon again, similar thing, but I think we can make that one happen. And then we're going to go to Agawam Mill Pond on June 5th. Here's the thing about this year. We got a couple Sunday events with everybody doing all these other things, KBF, KFL. You know, we got all these other opportunities. We kind of mixed a few Sunday events in there. We never have before in the past because I work Sundays, so I was selfish and I was like, screw you guys. But this year we're going to do it. So, yeah, June 5th, Agawam Mill Pond. That's a Sunday. Then the next one is June 19th. That is also a Sunday. We're going to do Whitehall Reservoir. July 2nd, we're going to do another upper-lower mill situation there. It's upper-lower mill Mystic Ponds, or upper-lower Mystic Ponds, sorry. That's up in that's north of Boston. We've been there once before. That was the one Bruce and Kevin, yeah, 90+ inches fishing the same spot. So that's a good spot. Let's see, June 24th, another Sunday event and the Nashua River. So everybody knows where Bruce fished, and they're all going to fish there. So the rest of the lake or river is for.
I think I'm the only one that knows.
I know.
Do you know? All right.
I do. We launched it the year before.
Selling those spots for $5 a piece.
Different time of year. He's not going to put up 102 inches again. Different time of year. Trust me. So July 24th, August 6th, we're going to do another river event, and that is back on the Charles River. Everybody loves that place, or some people do. Anyway, Bruce doesn't because he always goes to the wrong spot every time. And then September 17th. This one's up in the air. We have right now Lake Cochituate. They're not giving out permits for that right now because they've been doing the ramp repair on that place.
The last 10 years.
Yeah, so it's been going on for a while, but they look close to completed on it. I've seen photos, so I'm hoping at some point they'll open it back up and we'll be able to get a permit. So that'll be September 17th, and then if not Lake Cochituate, it'll be somewhere else. And then we have the championship. October 1st will be the championship.
What do you think, the nip instead of Cochituate?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we don't have a spot for the championship yet. It's kind of tough. We need a bigger lake, and really the only one there is kind of Webster that's in between. Cochituate would actually be a good one. So we may change it to Cochituate for the championship, and then just add something else for September 17th. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
If anyone knows anybody in the DNR that could pull some strings to get us on North Watuppa, that'd be amazing.
That'd be nice. I don't think it'll happen. But
the West would be happy to host a championship. We got a couple big lakes out here we could use.
What do you got?
Just saying, Otis Reservoir. I'd have to get into the permits. That's a big one.
That's not that far.
That's a hike. Yeah, no, that would be that's basically the start of the Berkshire Mountains. So you guys coming east would have a hike. That would be
it's like 2.5 to 3 hours.
And I think the nearest hotel to that would be minimum 20 to 30 minutes. So unless there's a couple of ski lodges that might work because they might start opening in October, but we could talk about that. It's just
it's not a bad option. We'll see. But anyway, so that's up in the air. October 1st will be the championship. Again, a little bit earlier this year than last year. So hopefully a better bite. But yeah, that's the Eastern Division event. We got 10 events this year. We had 9 last year. We're doing 10 again this year, and then the championship. So plenty of opportunity for people to fish.
And some Sundays. The Lord's Day.
Some Sundays. That's right. Jesus wants you to fish. So then we get the Western Division. You guys are doing 7 events again.
We are. We mixed it up a little bit with these events, and the first one I'm going to talk about. Nell, you and I are going to alternate on these. Okay, you got the schedule in front of you too. So
that's fine.
Ken, you're going to jump in on this one with me because this one has the first event we have that's actually going to open the whole season. Actually has a little bit of a caveat to it. Mm-hmm. So last year, I believe you guys opened, or it was your second tournament with A1, and A1 is that one body of water, not only that I love, but it's right on the line between our divisions. So we've got it this year. We're going to open up with it. But we want to make sure that guys in the Western Division that are going to be competing for Western AOY points have first crack at it. So it's going to be whatever division you commit to, you're committing to it, and the Western guys are going to have first crack at it. So Eastern guys can fish it if there's openings after that, but it is the first tournament of the year. We all know the numbers that are going to go there, and we're going to have first crack at it. The exact details Ken and I will work out before it goes live.
Right.
So that's our
first. The Eastern Division, we've been doing this for a while, so we'll fill that up in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like we did last year. You'll have a packed field in 2 minutes, and it'd just be kind of unfortunate if all the West or Eastern Division guys jumped in and then the Western Division guys didn't get a spot. You know what I mean? So we want to give those guys 24 hours, beforehand to sign up, and then after that, it's a free for all.
Yep.
So that should be fair.
Cool.
So Nelson, anybody? Yep. No, I was going to say anybody from the Eastern Division that signs up early will be removed.
Deleted,
terminated.
So we have a second April event. Nelson picked that one.
This is going to be Lake Rohunta. This is one where we're still waiting on a permit on this one. I believe it's the only one we're waiting on. But we're going to go to Rohunta. It's about north central of our western area here. It's up near Route 2. It's a nice pond. It's got a pretty big shallow area, and it's also got a northern deep area. So I think it'll play well to pretty much everybody's style of fishing. So Lake Rohunta, and that's in Athol, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's a hike. It's way out west. So
yeah.
Hey, Nell, you do the next one too, because you whooped everybody's ass there last year. Just did.
Yeah, this is we're doing the Washakums. That's going to be. Oh, sorry, I didn't say the date. Did you say the date, D? That's April 30th for Rohunta.
Yep.
Okay. The next one's going to be May 7th. That's the east and west Washakum ponds. We fished them last year, and I believe we're probably going to do the same thing this year. As you pick your pond. Is that right, D?
Yeah, we'll have limits of anglers on each pond, and it's first come, first serve until those limits are filled, and go from there.
Yeah, and the again, these ponds are great. The west is pretty much all largemouth. East has both largemouth and smallmouth. I believe it's a little bigger too. So those are some great ponds. The fishing was fantastic. I think for pretty much everybody there that tournament. So that should be a good one.
Yep. And before I give the next event in June, I saw in the comments Torrance mentioned Quabbin with a question mark for the Western Division. Torrance, Quabbin is off limits to kayaks and canoes. You cannot go out there in a kayak or canoe. Best body of water in the state. We can't touch it unless you rent a boat. And it is since the zebra mussels have invaded out west, the state has tightened up the regulations on boats that can go in there. Every time you go in or out of there, you have to have your boat cleaned and inspected and sealed. So no, it's not an option, unfortunately. We would love to fish Quabbin, but unless it's from a shore or rented boat, we can't touch it. So going on, the June event we have is one we did last year, but we're adding a little more room to it. So we used a section of the Chicopee River last year, and the access was borderline dangerous. We all acted as a team, which was great to see all the anglers get together and help each other's boats in and out of the water. But we're going to make this a road runner, open up the entire length of the Chicopee River from Red Bridge, which you guys can look at the map, the Red Bridge area, which is covered by 2 dams. So the easternmost dam of Red Bridge all the way to Route 33 in Chicopee, which is the Singing Bridge on Memorial Drive. That is a ton of room. So we have at least I can think of at least like 4 public launches on those stretches, if not more. So that's a ton of room. Smallmouth, largemouth, pike, they're all in there. That should be fun. We're trying to avoid what happened last year because it was a little bit more dangerous than I thought. And it was fun, but let's open it up, make it a little safer, and give a lot more room.
Nice. Our next one's going to be July 23rd. That's going to be Cheshire Reservoir up in Cheshire, Mass. We did this one again. We did it last year. And this was an absolutely amazing pond, amazing tournament. I believe there was only 8 of us at that one. But most of us, if not all, caught over 2 dozen, 3 dozen fish that day. It was absolutely amazing. And it made it fun because it kind of you never knew where you're going to stand. So we're going back to Cheshire. It was a good one, and we can't wait. Hopefully it'll be the same. A lot of small fish, but man, it was fun.
That was the great nibbler off of 2021, and I believe the lead changed. The top 3 spots shuffled up, except for Dan Johnson. He had the lead in first for most of the day because he actually managed to catch some decent fish. But everybody else beyond that, I think 2nd through 5th changed up like 3 times in the last 15 minutes. It was excitement. So we're looking forward to that one. So hopefully we have another good nibbler off. After that, August 13th, we're going to redo the 57 run road runner. So that was a list of ponds on or off Route 57 up in the Berkshires. Pick your pond. Again, there's going to be limits per pond. And we'll have a blast. Who won that? Steve Hedges won that one last year, I believe. Am I correct on that?
It was, yeah.
Steve was sitting alone by himself at one particular pond, and he won it. So good for him. But we'll get back out there and get all those ponds, and that was a fun one for everybody.
What's the date on that one again?
That was August 13th.
It's a KFL tournament.
Well,
now we don't have to fish that one.
Now we don't have to contend with Ken. Excellent. That's good news.
Hey, I might not fish that one. Who knows?
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
It's against the Granite State Sticks, though. I might have to fish that one.
Oh yeah, that's a blood match. You got-
Anyway, all right.
All right, our seventh and last tournament is going to be September 17th, and this is at Lake Ashmere. I forget the town this is in. Do you remember, Sean? I forget the town.
Is it Peru, Mass? It's way up in the
it's south of Peru.
South.
Yeah, it's up in that area. It's basically the northwest corner of the state.
Yeah.
It's up in the northern Berkshires. This pond is it's a pretty good size, and again, it's got two different sections of the pond. One is deep, has smallmouth, largemouth, and the other one is shallower with mostly a largemouth. So this pond I'm excited for. It looks like a really fun pond and will cater to almost anybody's fishing style. So it should be a good one.
Yep. Hey,
And there's
go ahead, Ken.
sorry. I was going to say there's a cool new feature that Fishing Chaos implemented sometime last year. It's an option that we have to allow low res images for submissions. So basically, the guys that have kind of a terrible signal, it's not going to upload that big high resolution photo. So it'll upload something that's just a little bit grainier, a little bit uglier. But most, a lot of times you'll be able to tell, what the length is, and you'll be able to judge it accordingly. So for you guys, it might be better up there when you're fishing around places that don't have the best signal. We could turn that option on, and guys can then submit. And then, of course, if you can't really tell if it's good enough, you can ask them for, a quality version of it after the fact. So that'll be good for you guys. And even us, we have a couple lakes. I'll probably put it on for every event, just in case, because I think then it gives you the option as the angler to choose that option to upload,
Yep.
So
cool.
So anyway,
and
cool.
we always up west just in case. I mean, I've asked you every tournament just to make sure that we always have an extra hour to upload. It makes sense because sometimes we're so far out in the Berkshires, there's nothing, low res or otherwise. I see Mike Marcone, my good friend, is asking a question about limits on the Roadrunners and multi-lake tourneys. For us, what we do, Mike, is last year I allotted for every body of water 20 acres per angler, and then just went with the math on there. So, for example, if we had a 200-acre lake, we had 10 anglers slots on that lake, and that's how we did it. So a 100-acre lake only had, 5. Ken, I don't know how you do it if you're doing multi-lake stuff. I mean, yours look like they're all connected anyways, but
yeah,
for the Eastern Division.
Yeah, how many? I don't think we've really limited it. Well, we have maybe when we've had the 3-lake throwdown. We haven't done that in a while. People didn't like that too much. So
yeah, no, we kind of try not to do those anymore.
Yeah, I can't remember what we limited it to. We might have just but when we have all the lakes were pretty big, so we probably limited it to like 15 or 20. I would think. We never went over that.
We always did random draw, anyways.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of why we limited it. So we if we had 28 people sign up, we would put 7. Do the math here. I'm terrible at math. That's not right. What's 3 divided by? That doesn't even divide into 28 3 times, does it? Terrible.
21.
9. That's 27. Say we had 27. 9. So yeah. So we'd put 9 on one lake and then maybe another on another. So that's how we would do it. So it didn't really matter for us in the same way you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, these ponds that we're talking about on the 57 run, they're smaller. We don't have. There's no. I think there's one at 200 acres, if that. Right now, is that even? No, I think they're all under. They're all under.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. They're all under 200.
Those are all tiny.
Yeah, so we're all giving them first come, first serve, making sure each angler has enough room to move around. 20 acres apiece is more than enough. And first come, first serve, and it will just whatever the total is. It was so popular last year, we might throw a couple more ponds in there because I left a couple off that are in the vicinity and said, the hell with it, but see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully you guys have some more people fishing with you this year,
Think so.
Yeah?
I think so. I've heard some rumblings. We'll see. I've heard some rumblings from Central Mass, but it's funny. Nelson and I have talked about this. We're in a little bit of a pickle because, the central guys that are closer to Worcester, they'll fish the central part of the state. The Berkshire guys will fish the Berkshire events. Everybody fishes the 1 or 2 events we have in the valley. And then it's, we got to get everybody together. You know what I'm saying? It's not working out.
Maybe we need a central division.
We need Gerard to talk to them because that old man has been driving from the Cape to every tournament, no matter what.
That's what I'm saying.
That's an hour and a half minimum to most places that we fish.
Yep.
Cool. So that's you guys. That's it, man. We got 17 events between the 2 divisions, and then one championship, which is to be determined. So should be a good season. We got some good events lined up. I'm excited.
There's a lot of opportunities for Massachusetts anglers, which is awesome.
Yeah, I can fish unless I can't get the Sundays off from work. I can fish all of them, so I'm pretty pumped. I missed way too many last year. That's the only reason why Bruce won Angler of the Year.
That's unofficial, right?
Yeah. God, I'm always busting Bruce's balls. I'm sorry. It's just so easy. So yeah, let's moving on. Let's we're gonna do some new things this year. We're gonna do the double down. And I don't know, are you guys gonna do that on the West?
No.
And we just no? Fine, whatever. Come on.
Give us a year or 2.
All right, fine. We're gonna do it on the East. It's an idea I had. We used it for EKF. We're actually going to do it for EKF this year, but we used it last year. We did a test run at that final event we did on Lake George, just that one-off fun event. Basically, it is a second entry fee. So our entry fee is $50. You pay a second $50, and they'll, out of that, $48 will go into the pot because there's $2 in credit card processing fees. But that will be basically a winners take all side pot. So, and you'll be able to sign up for that, right up till the end of registration deadline. So if you pre-fish and you do well and you say, hey, I want to get in on the double down, you can do it. When's our registration deadline? Midnight Friday.
Yep.
You'll be able to sign up right up until midnight. And yeah, so that's basically what it is. It's just a gamble. It's you gamble. If you place first, and you also got in the double down, you are going to win all of that side pot, the whole thing. So it can be a pretty good amount of money. So, if you place first in the regular event and you do that, you probably walk away with $1,000 or more.
Well, I mean, even if it's a couple, even if it's 3 guys, you're walking away with an extra almost $100. I mean,
yep. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. It's
definitely a gamble.
And it's optional, it's, you don't have to do it. It's just something that's there for the guys. But yeah, it's we're gonna do it. We're gonna see what happens. So hopefully people dig it. It seemed to go over well.
Adds just a little bit more pressure too, which kind of drives the adrenaline and makes it a little more fun.
Yep. So that's something new. What else do we got? We're gonna do a new Angler of the Year format. We tried just a points driven format originally, and it didn't work out. I think we did it wrong. We didn't have any drop events. So we just counted, we were counting every event. And we had our points decrement was 2 points, I think. It was, or 1 point. It might have been 1 point. So then we went to the other system that we had where you had your top 25 fish, and you got bonus points for winning the events or placing in the top 5. So we're gonna do away with that this year, and we're just gonna go to a points driven system, more traditional Angler of the Year format, and that's gonna allow us to use. Fish and Chaos has their own built-in system that will tabulate Angler of the Year, the rankings live as you go. So if you're in a tournament and you're in 3rd place, and then you start crushing it and you jump up in the 1st place in the event, you might jump up to 1st place in the Angler of the Year standings, and you'll be able to see that live, and it'll just go up and down all day. But it takes a lot of work off of me, who has to do all this, I do Excel spreadsheets, and then I have to put it up on the website. And it's, as you guys have probably seen, it takes me a while to do that. It's a lot of work. So this takes away a lot of that work for me, frees up some time. And it just basically the software does it for me. So we're going to follow KBF's point system to make it easy. Cause a lot of us fish KBF, a lot of us fish elite kayak fishing, and we copy it as well. So it's just going to be you're going to get 600 points if you win, and then there's going to be 6-point decrements from there. So, you play second, you get 594 points. No more bonus points for the top 5. And then what KBF also does is you get 60 points just for registering. So if you register for the event, you don't fish it, you get 60 points. So that's like, you could do a little strategic stuff there with that. Say you're, at the end of the year, you're just out of you want to make the championship and you're just out of that points area. How are we doing that? I forget. But you could register for the event. You're going to get yourself 60 points, and that might put you up over that threshold. So it's an option, and then you'll get 120 points if you register, fish the event, but say you skunk. You just upload, a blank image of your board or an empty image of your board, and put like 1 inch and upload that, and you'll get 120 points. So that'll be the new AOI format for this season. And then we're going to drop events. So for the Eastern Division, we got 10 events. We're going to drop 3. So if you fish all 10, it's going to count your best 7 events. So you got to fish 7 events to have your best chances at winning Angler of the Year. And then for the Western Division, you have to fish at least 5 events. Well, you don't have to fish at least 5 events, but it's your best 5. So you'll drop 2 events out of the 7. And then also, and this was, I guess, an issue as a point of contention with Sean last year. He didn't realize that the championship was Angler of the Year points were involved in the championship. So this year we're going to make that clear.
Ken, let me clarify that statement. You gave it in a negative light. The positive light is the only person who knew the championship would be Angler of the Year was one each Ken Wood, because I was not the only person.
It was online. It was.
You're the boss.
It was online. Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't think that anybody. I just thought people would have assumed that. I'm sorry. So that was my fault. But you know what? It turned out you won. You won it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it all turned out. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll make it very crystal clear this year. The championship will count toward Angler of the Year, and it'll be double or points and a half. So you'll total 900 points. If you win, you'll get 900 points for Angler of the Year, and everything else doubles. So 9-point decrement between places, and then you'll get is it 100? It'd be 90 points for if you register, and then 180, right? 180 points if you fish and skunk. So we'll have that all. We'll put it all online. We'll spell it all out and everything like that. But that is going to be the new Angler of the Year format. So hopefully it works out. I think maybe last time we didn't have the decrements enough. We definitely didn't do any drop events. So I think that'll make the difference in where we screwed up that first year we were doing it. So, but I'll miss the other format. I like that one. I thought that was pretty unique. Get out of here.
Unique but not efficient.
It was pretty. What do you mean?
It's just. This is far easier to understand.
I guess it's definitely easy. Yeah.
Oh, how many inches do I have a fish? And I need a 20-inch fish. And versus, hey, this is what place I have to aim for. I have to, and then in your head, you could see where you're at while fishing the tournaments. You'd be like, oh, you can kick it in overdrive, and potentially move yourself up to gain enough points, and that all real time.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely more streamlined. It's definitely an easier format. That's for sure. So, and then Fishing Chaos makes it even easier. We just plug in some numbers and add the tournaments that we want to be counted, and that's it. You can look at it anytime you want. You don't have to wait for me to have a minute to upload the spreadsheet and all that. And I mean, God, I still haven't updated the website, all season. Don't laugh. You laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing at Gerard and you, but
kick him out of here.
Who, Gerard or me?
No,
both of us.
Both of you. Get out of here.
I got Gerard taking shots at me. Sorry.
Read the rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, what else we got? I think that covers it. Oh, memberships. We'll go over that real quick. Memberships, they're not available yet. We're waiting for an update from Fishing Chaos. We're gonna go year to year. The way Fishing Chaos is set up right now, it's by the time you get a year from when you register. That doesn't really work for us. So We're gonna wait until they update the app apparently at the end of the month, and that'll allow us to change things, and then we'll open it up for memberships. And then also, we're not gonna do the tiered thing this year. It's just gonna be a straight $25 membership. Most everybody did that one anyway, so we're just gonna do that. It's easier. I don't have to. A lot of people were like they'd pay the $10 membership and then they'd sign up for a live event, and I had to chase them down and get them to give me another $15, and it just was more of a pain. So straight $25. We'll see about what you get with that and everything. That we haven't finalized that yet, but you'll at least get the decals and all that stuff. So that'll come down end of the month, and that's it for memberships. What else? Online series?
The online.
Yeah, the onlines. We're gonna do those again. I know some people do. I think we're gonna do the weekly thing again. I know some people didn't like that, but I still think that's the most fair. I don't think doing the monthly, a full-on monthly event will do well, because I think that just benefits certain people, and it's no offense to those people, but there are people that could fish a lot more than other anglers, and it's just they'll win every time. And ultimately, I think that'll just make people not want to fish it. So I think this format's better. So we'll keep doing the weekly online. We haven't really discussed it much, so I don't know if we'll tweak anything with it. But we'll still definitely have a monthly series, a monthly online series. We'll be doing the Thursday night throwdowns again. I don't know if it'll be bi-weekly. I think Nate's going to help us out running that. So we'll see. It might be bi-weekly. It might not. We'll gee, I wonder who that was. No, you can't use hog troughs. So yeah, do the Thursday night throwdowns. If anybody's curious to know what that is, that's a Thursday night event. We do 5 to 9 p.m. It's just a fun event, 3 fish limit. We did, how many did we do last year? We did a handful, 5 or 6, and they turned out well. That's still an Eastern Division thing, Sean, right? You're not doing that for the West?
The Thursday night throwdowns?
Yeah.
No, because Nate lives out east.
See. Well, anyways, yeah. So it's going to be an Eastern Division thing. And then, the bigger update for the series we run is the Knockout series. So that's we're making some big changes on that one this year. Sean's going to help run that one. But we've had some issues the past couple of years getting people to kind of join in on that. We're chasing people down, begging people to join. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's just the algorithms on Facebook. People aren't seeing the signups or whatever. But the first couple of years we filled it up quickly. And then the last couple of years we've had a hard time. Might be COVID. I don't know what it is. But we're gonna change it up this year. We're gonna open it up to New England. Some people have asked us to do that in the past, and we said no. But KBBT kind of showed us that was possible when they came along last year. So we're going to open it up to New England, and you're going to be able to fish the body of water that you want to fish. So basically you can fish your honey hole. But there's going to be like Sean said earlier, a caveat to that. You want to detail that one, Sean?
Yeah. So to avoid and to add a little strategy and to avoid someone going to a place and repeatedly fishing, a place that they're successful at, you can only use a body of water once. So if you and I are in the first round, and then John and Nelson are also in the first round in the same bracket, if I fish a section of the Chicopee River and you fish, name one of your favorite ponds. I mean, Whitehall. You fish Whitehall Reservoir, right? Nelson fishes Lake Ashmere and John fishes Snippatuit. For us, if John goes on and you go on, John cannot fish Snippatuit anymore, and you can't fish Whitehall anymore. So now your strategy is, okay, my first round opponent, I've looked at his records. Maybe that person does not do well in the spring and they're more of a summer warm water fisherman. Do you want to blow your honey hole up on the first round? Do you want to go to a place that you're going to catch those fish, or do you want to hold it and say, wow, maybe my second or third round opponent that I could face might give me some major trouble, and that's where I want to go to, my place that I know I'm comfortable at. I mean, we all know it's fishing. It's never a guarantee, but people feel comfortable and do better at different places. So that'll be a fun little thing. And then we'll track it. So when you choose you and your opponent choose your spots, we're going to need to, I'll keep a small spreadsheet that says, okay, John has fished Snippatuit, then John has fished one of the ponds on the Cape, whatever it is, Mashpee Wakeby. So I know those are checked off. So in the third round, John says, hey, I want to fish Snippatuit. I say, you can't, dude. You use it in the first round. Easy enough. The other thing with that, and this was a long discussion that actually got settled right up to the start of this podcast, was how are we going to deal with rivers and how are we going to deal with ponds that are connected that you can pass through water without portaging your kayak? And what we came to was, if you can stay in your boat and go to another body of water, that whole thing is one body of water. If you have to portage your boat anywhere, case in point, a river with dams, if you would have to portage your boat around the dams, that section with the dams is one body of water. The next section that's dammed off is another body of water, etc. So with like the example we gave for your guys' trail stop at Walker Upper Mill, for the knockout, that's one body of water. You can only use that once. Even if you only stay in Walker the whole day, Upper Mill is now dead to you too. So that's a neat little thing. I do see that Torrance is asking about the knockout. Torrance, the knockout is a one-on-one bracketed tournament. It's lose and go home, man. So it's one-on-one. You and your opponent pick 4 to 8 hours. It's got to be a minimum 4, maximum 8 hours to fish. That is another tweak we made to the rules, because sometimes, if you have a good day to fish and you're shooting for that big bag, or a place that you feel maybe 8 hours on the water could give you a shot at that big fish prize, and your opponent says, well, I can only fish 2 hours that day, it kind of sucks. So minimum 4, maximum 8. All you and your opponent have to do is settle on the time and date that you guys are fishing, the time frame and the date, the ponds, anything you want. And again, you only get one shot at it.
Yep. Yeah. And you definitely have to fish the same time. You can't fish different days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to fish the same time, same day. We'll set it up in the Fishing Chaos for, you'll only be able to fish those times. And there's another feature in Fishing Chaos too, that we can, you can choose the body of water. So it'll actually limit you to that body of water. So there's a lot of things we can do with it, but yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll open it up. We should probably I think we'll hit 64 anglers if we open it up to all of New England.
Yep. I think the biggest problem that you saw in the past, and I saw it a little bit too last year, was the main thing is, people settling on a lake, and the time is, I think, secondary. It's the lake or the body of water people had problems with, because somebody always feels they're at a disadvantage.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that takes that out of the equation. Now it's just a matter of time and date. Hopefully that increases our numbers for this tournament. And one thing we should mention, Ken, that, or two things, obviously it's public bodies of water only, no private lakes, ponds, whatever. And the championship, whether it's 2 or 3 people, same body of water. So that one, the people have to coordinate with.
Yep. So you have to think about that before you register. If you make it to the end and you live, way up in Bangor, Maine, and another guy lives in Connecticut, you gotta be willing to travel and meet somewhere. We say in the middle. That's the easiest thing. If you're on the eastern end of Massachusetts or in the western end, you guys meet in the middle. That's how it's always been. So try to work that out. But that's another problem that we've run into. It's like, guys will live far away and they won't want to travel, but when you sign up, you should know these things going into it. So there's a chance, if you make it to the end, you'll have to do a little traveling for that championship event. But yeah, other than that, man, I mean, that's kind of, it's all, everything else is going to run the same. We'll update the rules and all that stuff online, which I haven't done yet, but we'll get that up there. But it should be fun. Again, you'll be able to fish wherever you want, which I think that's a unique twist on it.
As long as it's public.
As long as it's public, of course. Yeah, none of that stuff changes. You have to fish public. You have to launch in a public body of water. Should also state that if you fished, say, Champlain, you would have to launch in Vermont. You can't launch on the New York side. Even though the lake is on both, it spans both states. You would have to, New York's out. We discussed maybe allowing New York, but we decided against that, and I think that was best because New York it's just huge.
What if they all three people, say it's the championship, all 3 people want to launch from the New York side. What about the championship? Would that be allowed or just no?
Yeah, I wouldn't see a problem with that if that's what they wanted to do. If they all wanted to go to Champlain, and I don't think that'd be an issue. It's just the individual, because then somebody won't have an advantage. They'll all be in the same boat for that one.
Exactly.
But there's some good stuff on the New York side that you're never getting to from the Vermont side in a kayak. So, you would have to launch from Vermont. So yeah, that's the big knockout series update.
Yes, Torrance, all of New England is in play. But again, you pick your own lake. You do not negotiate body of water with your opponent. All you negotiate is time and date, which should make this process a whole lot easier, because I can't tell you what I've seen and what has happened. I've heard of happening over the past couple of years with people either, bitching and moaning about lakes or this or that. That's usually the biggest problem. Dates and times go easy. It's always the body of water.
Yeah, it's the body of water. And then, certain anglers try to kind of trick people into fishing, one lake over another. And you know what I mean? It's like, they're trying to kind of scam somebody, which I've never liked. You know what I mean? I know there's some strategy in that. You'd want to fish against somebody on a body of water that well, but to me, it's a one-on-one. It should be a level playing field. Go somewhere new, somewhere you both haven't fished before. But this should eliminate some of that. You can fish wherever you want. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff. But again, just picking the date and time. Fish for 4 hours or up to 8. No longer than 8. That's been something that we kind of allowed in the past. You could fish however long you wanted. I don't think anybody ever went longer than 8 hours. But we were like, yeah, fish, an hour if you want. But it's got to be a minimum of 4 this time, between 4 and 8 hours. So cool. That covers that. What else do we got? Quick thing on jerseys and t-shirts. I got jerseys in the works again. This is something that we haven't done in a few years because it's been so time consuming using the company that we used before, they were great. But I had to coordinate everything. I had to get everybody's logos, and people are sending me, logos that are 200 by 200 pixels. And, it's just a pain, and I had to fill out every form individually. So this time we're going to be able to use a company, and they're going to set up like an order form on the website for us. So we're going to have a stock jersey for MAKB, and you can jump on there and fill out the form and add your own logos, and then you'll have to deal with all that. So if you upload a bad logo, they're going to let you know, and it won't rely on me doing all that work. So it'll save a lot of time, and then it'll just be there available for you whenever you want to order a jersey. Hopefully we have some other options besides just a straight jersey, maybe some hoodies, but we'll see. And then t-shirts, we're working on t-shirts as well. I'm trying to work with a local company to get that stuff done, but that's coming. We'll at least have jerseys for everybody to order, beanies or the face masks and all that stuff. So yeah, that is update on jerseys. What else do we got? KBF rules update. So everybody saw the new KBF change about the hand placement on the fish, and that caused a bit of an uproar. So Chad Hoover brought that to the they got an advisory group with a bunch of the tournament directors around the U.S. Are in that group, and he brought it to them. Or us, I should say, and we had a discussion about it. So that rule is going to change. He hasn't made it official yet, but it's coming. What the main concern that everybody had was the hand placement on the gill. Like they eliminated the whole gill plate. That is going to change. It's going to essentially be from the back of the eye forward. You can't touch it. Anything beyond that, you could touch. And then once you get to the tail, that anal fin and that the caudal fin or something, whatever the heck that one is on the top is, you can't go beyond that point. So you won't be able to have your hand on the tail. You see a lot of guys, they have the hand manipulating the tail, twisting it, you know what I mean, to get that extra length. You won't be able to do that anymore. But that whole chunky fat part of the bass in the middle, that's in play. You just can't, that hasn't changed essentially. You just can't cover the eye. So
was there any change for under the gill? Still no hand under the gill. The hand must be over.
Yep, no under the gill. None of that's changed. You can't have anything on the only thing you can have on the fish is your hand. Some people try to put towels and stuff and they get DQ'd and they get mad, but just your hand. That's the only thing that can be on it.
What about pinching the tail without touching it? Like you put the fish down, pinch it, and then you put your hand down.
I don't think is that a rule? I think that's allowed, isn't it?
Right, just making sure.
I don't think it has. I'll have to check. I'll have to check on that. I don't think that's against the rules. I don't think you have to have it fanned. I think they had that at one point, right? If I remember back in the day, you had to have it fanned out. Yeah, because then it was like, because some fish, you put them on the board, and their tails just do that. You could spread it out, and it does that automatically. So
yeah.
I think they changed it. So I don't think there's a thing against that. I think what they don't want people to do is actually hold the tail down. Like if that fish doesn't want its tail to be bent, if you need to bend the tail, curve it a little bit to get that point of the fin to hit the next 1/4 inch line, they don't want people doing that. So anyway, so that's a good change. Like I said, he hasn't made it official yet, so it might change again. I don't know. I don't think it will, but they've made that change for us, so that's good. So everybody can kind of relax on that one, because I know that pissed a lot of people off. Me, I went through all the entries that I'd uploaded to Fish and Chaos last year. It's 258, and 250 of them would have been DQ'd under that rule, denied. So, and then of course, you get people saying, "Well, you wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have uploaded them like that." I get that, but my hand, I put it in. It's just a natural way to put your hand, especially if you're putting your left hand on it. It comes around. It's at an angle already. It's going to cover part of that gill plate. So that's a good change. And what else? The banquet. We changed the banquet.
Yeah, so I'll go into that. We had a little bit of a logistic problem come up today, which thankfully got solved very quickly by all parties involved. So instead of March 19th, it's going to be March 5th. Same location, same time. So 2 o'clock until whenever we get thrown out, which is probably just before midnight, at the Italian American World War Veterans Club in Milford. So Ken, all you have to do is update the date on that on the Facebook thing, and we're good to go. But March 5th, everyone, not March 19th, March 5th.
I will do that.
Yeah, and that is a potluck style get together. So have your old ladies, have your grandmas cook the best food they can and bring it on down.
It's very sexist of you, John. I can cook.
Yeah, he was just talking to Gerard. He was talking to Gerard, so his wife makes those the hell are those called? Empanadas. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell Maria to make anything. I don't care what it is. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Ooh, so that's a pit boss.
Oh, for real?
Maybe that bears a further conversation with Torrance. And does he need a trailer to bring his grill out, or what's going on?
Yeah.
What do we need?
I believe that might. No more empanadas for me. Jesus. Makes me sad. So how about hats? Hats. I didn't even think about hats, man. I will think about hats going forward. Rob has a truck. He does have a truck.
So Torrance has a ride, it sounds like. Excellent.
So we got any other questions here?
Yeah, if you guys, right now is the time to lay some questions on us about any rule changes, anything, or maybe if you don't want to read the rules, you can ask right now, but now's the only time.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, for the banquet, if you've won a tournament in the past 3 years, so 2019, 20, or 21, come out to the banquet, because we'll have a trophy for you. And something else. We'll have a little something else that's a little special. Everybody gets a trophy. The Angler of the Years get, a nice crystal trophy to put on their mantle. But yeah, so come on out. I know there's some people that, 2019, I don't think they've fished with us since then. So I might be mailing these things. But if you're watching this, come on out and have some fun. It's going to be a good time. We've only done it once.
Gerard's asking, does MAKB events still qualify for the national championship?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think that's going to change. I don't know if they. I'll get all the details. but I don't think that's going to change. We'll still qualify for the NC, and that's another thing. Hopefully, we get together again. I know some of us are planning. I'm definitely going to the NC this year. Other people are saying they're going to go as well. So hopefully we can get a bigger group to go down again. I kind of miss those days. Now we're all, or most of us are vaccinated, so we can feel comfortable traveling again. Entry fee per event, it's $50. And then we have all optional lunker pools. Sometimes we have, Smalley lunker pool. It's another $10. That's for Western Division. That's for Eastern Division. Western Division does not have an optional pool for Smalleys. And so you guys just do pickerel and pike.
Yeah, we do so our two lunker pools, the bass is not optional. That's part of the entry fee, and it's black bass because a lot of our bodies of water are smallmouth and largemouth. So we said the hell with it. I'm not differentiating, but then we do something a little different than the Eastern Division because we do have a lot of waters that have pike that we're fishing. So we do what's called the toothy bastard, and it's pike or pickerel. And Ken and I have been going back and forth about this for months, where he feels it's two separate species. And my response has always been, it's a bass tournament. I don't care. This is just for the side. And if you're lucky enough to catch a pike while you're gunning for pickerel, good for you. A lot of the times we've had tournaments where the pickerel has won with pike submissions. So it doesn't matter. I mean, a big pickerel or big pike's going to win it. It's a bass tournament. We'll have some fun on the side with something with teeth, and that's about it. Ken, there's a couple of good questions on here. Are we doing the video release similar to KBF?
No. I mean, listen, I actually think that's a decent rule. You know what I mean? Requiring it, I mean, I don't know. I can understand people's arguments, like I don't have space on my phone, but I think it's a decent rule to just have on your phone. You know what I mean? Like I caught a fish. I'll give it for instance. I caught a fish at Lake Murray last year. It was like a 22-incher or something. And the thing was disgusting. You could see the photos online. I mean, it looks dead. It's moldy. It is the weirdest thing. I mean, it had sores on it. It's like the upper fin was like you just had to see the spines on it. Most of the fin was gone. Its tail was like it literally looked like it had black mold all over it. And I'm staring at this fish going, they're not going to believe that this is alive. They're going to think I literally pulled a dead fish from the water and measured it. So I had to take a photo. I took a video. I had the good sense to take a video of it, of the release and show it. And then I emailed it to Amanda Brandon to just say, hey, this fish looks dead. You know what I mean? But it is clearly alive. So for that reason, I think it's a good rule, a good practice for people to just take a photo just in case anything comes up. Anybody, because there are some times where fish look dead. They look dry because you've had them out too long and they flopped around the bottom of the boat so long and their slime coat just kind of dries out, especially on a hot day. They dry up pretty quick and they look like, you might have just plucked it out of the water and it had been sitting there dead for a bit. So it's not going to hurt, but we're not going to require it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a requirement on our end, but good practice.
Somebody else is asking about Sunday tournaments. Is that going to change the pre-fishing limit to Thursday?
It's a good question. Yes, I guess it would. Yeah, absolutely. Also, still southern half of Champlain. That's Michael Cronin. That's for
EKF.
Yeah, that's for EKF. And that, yeah, I mean, if that's what you're asking for, EKF, yeah, the championship would be that. For the knockout series, I mean, if you wanted to fish it, the whole lake would be open, but only on the Vermont side. You'd have to launch.
And only once. That's done.
Yeah,
you want to save Champlain for your big matchup against Ken Wood.
So you could go into the New York bodies, the New York side of the lake, but you have to launch from the southern side. So I believe you could do that in some areas. It's not too far. But yeah, if that's what you were asking. But yeah, for the knockout series, it doesn't have to be just the southern end. Is the schedule up somewhere? The schedule is not up yet. We will put it up after this at some point. Mike Morcone, no video. Yes, of course.
Ken, one thing I do want to talk again about A1. So when the memberships come up and people select their divisions,
correct? Yes.
Yeah, if you go ahead, whatever division you select, that's basically where you're going to be at for Angler of the Year points. So if you're out in the East and you just want to crack at A1 and you select West to get in there, and you don't fish any other Western events, you're committed to those Western events because you're deciding your division. Basically, I mean, think about it this way, guys.
Well, actually, that's not necessarily true because it's going to be automatic, right? So if you fish the events and you're an MAKB member, you just have to be a member. I don't think it's going to differentiate between divisions, but don't go and pick Western Division just so you can get in on A1 and then fish all Eastern Division events for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? Don't do that. That's dirty. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a ticket basically when you become a member, and you're going to choose the division that you intend to fish the most. So if you're going to fish most of the Western Division events, you pick that ticket. I don't think they're set up yet to differentiate Angler of the Year.
Ooh,
standings.
that might bring up something that we have to talk about then, because if I jump in on if you guys are, I wrote down your schedule. So if I want to fish the Nashua River, is that going to count towards Angler of the Year points for Western Division?
No. Because the way that it's set up, so that the Angler of the Year standings they're set up by. So I will say this: the Eastern Division or Western Division event or standings for Angler of the Year only include these events.
Gotcha.
So they won't be mixed up like that. So yeah.
Basically like you last year, and it's actually like John last year, because you guys both fished the opener at Quabog for the Western Division. You showed up just kind of lower because you didn't finish all, you didn't fish all the events, but you showed up in the Western standings because you got points for a Western event. I understand.
Right.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could do that with the tickets. Like this is your division. You know what I mean? And if you I don't know, if you wanted to fish both, you got to buy another membership. That'd be a little weird, but yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's all I got on my list. Let's see if I caught a fish without a left eye once. Yeah, that's a good option.
Hey,
I caught a fish. Sorry, I caught a fish with a Demiki air frog once, and when I pulled the hook out, I pulled its eye out with it through the mouth. This is the grossest thing I've ever seen. So
I've seen the picture.
Oh God, yeah. So that would have been a good fish to take a video of, because it just had an empty socket where the eye was. I felt terrible. I've never seen that before. Like that hook wasn't even that big, but somehow, I don't know. I have no idea how it happened. But yeah, I pulled that thing out and there was an eyeball connected to it, and then that bass had no eye.
Yeah. It's a big hook. It's a 7-0 owner.
Yeah,
hook,
it's a big hook, but I mean, I have no idea how it got out through the inside of its face. Yeah.
Awesome. Ken, do we want to talk a little bit, without mentioning company names, some of the things we have in store for sponsorships and reasons people are going to want to stick around after the events this year?
Yeah. So we're going to have some new sponsors this year. We got some good stuff lined up. We're going to have one that's going to give away. We have some pretty decent giveaways for the events, but you have to be at the event. We're going to do something called the Power Hour. That was Sean's little idea there. And it fits. It works really well. It sounds great. So we're going to do that. So at the end of the event, we're going to spin a little random generator, numbers 1 through 8. And whatever it lands on, the angler, so say it lands on 6, we're going to pull a spreadsheet from Fishing Chaos. We're going to look at all the fish submissions in that 6th hour of the tournament. The angler that caught the biggest fish and submitted it during that hour is going to win this prize. And it's pretty good prize, but you have to be there to win.
Yep.
So what's the cost on that? $100
for each of those items?
Yeah.
The MSRP on the item is like $40, but I've used it and it's worth way more than $40.
Yeah. It's worth $100 and
it's worth a lot. And then for the championship, that company is significantly upping their game with that prize. So it goes from something, I'm not going to say the MSRP and the other thing, but it is insane. So there's a good teaser, and we'll get into it, once we kind of cross the I's and dot the T's with this company.
Yeah. We're still finalizing some things. We got 3 new sponsors on board. So it'll be good. We're going to drop a few, unfortunately, and we're going to bring on some more. So something to look out for.
Yeah. Jersey's just going to look a little different, but overall, the product
We'll have
that
it-
we're getting, and that we're getting is even better.
The jersey will look different because we'll have a new design, completely new design. So we're
Wait,
gonna go
new
with
sponsor.
we're gonna go with Firestorm. Is that what we decided?
The Fieri? Are we doing the Fieri?
No, we're not
We're
doing.
That'd be funny. We should print one Guy Fieri,
What?
but yeah, I
Um,
think we're doing Firestorm, which if anybody gets the Earth Crisis reference, but I don't think they do.
Probably not. Just me. Live scope for a raffle prize? No. But speaking of live scope, I do have a Ray Marine Element 7 for sale. John, listen up, guys. When I'm selling stuff, stop dissing it. Okay? I need that money. I bought a bunch of crap. Every time I try to sell something, a bunch of people jump on and say, dude, it's a hunk of crap. It's a great fish finder. And I'm selling it for cheap. 400 beans. I dropped the price. Don't it's worth $400. Go look at the prices online. $400. Plus it'll come with all my waypoints. How about that?
Half the time you didn't have the graph.
What are you talking about?
You go out half the time with that thing.
I
You
go out
break
all
the
the time with that.
transducer arm.
A few times. Yeah, don't buy that. No, I won't say. They might be. They won't say. But anyways, great fish finder. Hit me up. Great starter.
Somebody's asked.
Greg Blanchard fishes with that one. That thing is money.
Somebody's asking about making a big bass prize. I don't know if they're referring to the Power Hour or something else. No, we already have the big bass prize covered. This was a matter of somebody jumped in on that first. And we always do a big bass pool anyways. So we'll get into who's giving out what when, but not right now.
Yep. Yeah, we have
Ken's
the big
graph.
breasts. What?
We have
we're
big
not
breasts.
We're gonna give away Ken's graph because
Oh,
nobody's gonna buy it.
Stop. Somebody buy it. That's how I did so well last year. Only it's all due to that graph. No skills. I have no skills.
well, Ken, that's an excellent segue of you trying to sell your graph because with another tease, I think I let you know about this. One of our affiliates, and I have, and actually Nelson and my man Bobby Roast Beef have been working on an event that might involve used gear. More to come on that when we finalize what's that. I think I told you what the outline was. We're just waiting on a couple of things, and we'll have an announcement. Both, I'm sure you guys will put it up on the MAKB Facebook page, and we'll be talking about it, I'm sure, on Jigs and Bigs. So we have this spring is going to be extremely busy for MAKB, EKF, the number of KBF events in the area this year, and then all the silly bullshit we all have planned on the side. There's a lot of stuff, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's crazy with EKF, KB. I mean, if you're like me, I'm starting my season in like 2 weeks down in Florida. And then Lake Murray in February, and John and I are discussing driving out to Denver,
Colorado.
for an event out there.
It's a quick 30-hour trip. Straight shot. No big deal.
Oh, it's stupid. I'm definitely working that. I'm working there. I can't go there, and I'm not taking a week off for that.
Yeah, same.
But there's all kinds of stuff. EKF. I mean, if you want to do the Hobie's coming up here on Winnipesaukee. KBF just jumped on with EKF. We're going to do a dual event there. We're doing a dual event at Messalonski. And then KBF's also doing Champlain this year, which should be great. That's going to be the whole lake, which I'm excited about. I can fish my spots. I couldn't fish my spots last year, so because I don't know, man. It's a good year. It's exciting. Got a lot of stuff.
If you're looking into getting some tournaments, this year's probably the best year yet. You can find anything you want between, big trails, KBF, EKF, and local trails, east, west. Then you can wet your feet in the knockout series, whatever you want to do. Online monthlies for MAKB.
Oh yeah,
pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's come a long way in the past couple of years. I mean, you got to think, man, back in 7 years ago, we were fishing. We're all in sit-ins, and we were fishing for, entry fees $25 with like 6 dudes. I've made this joke many times. You'd play you'd pay $25, and then like you'd play second or third, and you'd win like 15. You wouldn't even win your money, but it was so stupid. So it's and now we're fishing for God, especially like EKF, man. We got some big paydays. You could win if you do the double down. If you won an event, you did a double down. A lot of people got into it. You could walk away with almost 10 grand at an EKF event. So, and then shoot, man, with the KBF, with the dual events, if you did everything, so you could do KBF, that event. You could do EKF. You could do the double down for EKF, and then you could do the Pro Series, which is similar.
Smokes.
Yeah, similar to the double down, except I think that pays out more spots. But man, you win all 4 of those. Holy crap. And then say you did Sunday, because KBF is 2 events. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. So you did Sunday. Say you won Sunday, you won the regular trail event, and then you won the Pro Series event on that side. Then they got bonus bucks. You know what I mean? They have bonus bucks as well. I mean, Jesus, you can walk away for a weekend. I mean, I haven't done the math, but what, 15 grand maybe? I mean,
they're still doing bonus
nuts.
bucks?
Yeah, it's different this year. It's not $100 a year. It's like per event, so it's like $35. There's only one option though. Like, so it might be per both for the weekend, $35. But when you go on to buy a ticket for an event, it's an option there for you just buy a ticket for $35. So I don't think they've put out how they're doing it. If they have, I haven't seen it, but it's a little different this year. But anyways, it's just up here with all these when we're doing a dual event. I mean, that's going to be like those Saturdays. It's going to be like 4 events in one.
So if you think about it, if you get momentum in the Northeast this year, you could potentially make a living off of competing.
It's going that way.
It's possible. This year in the Northeast, it's actually possible. You do not have to travel more than 10 hours to do that. That's insane. That is so cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a little cutthroat, I think. Once you start getting up into those bigger numbers for money. It's gonna be tough. It's
a good year. It's a good year for you to get live scope because you're behind everybody else.
What?
You're a year behind. Yeah, sorry. You're a year behind everybody else.
It's all right, man. I don't need that. Just another tool, right, John?
It is,
just
takes
a tool.
It takes you a bit to fine tune, and I'm excited because that means I don't really have to worry about you this year, and I'm gonna make a living off kayak fishing.
I don't think so. You're gonna be disappointed.
Not me.
So that's all I have, man. We got any other questions that I missed?
Dominic Eno's asking if the monthlies are still picking a week out of the month, which is yes, correct?
As of right now, yeah. Unless somebody has a better idea that's not run it per month, I mean, I like the week. You know what I mean? It's a gamble. You got to pick your week. I wish there was a way that you could. Yeah, I mean, I know it's an issue picking the week before the month even starts, but it's the only way we can do it. But I mean, even if we did 2 weeks, I mean, that's, again, there are guys that could fish every day, and it'll be the same as a month. The same people will win every time. So I know the guys that can fish a lot don't like that, but it's not personal, obviously. You know what I mean? I just want it to be you see it with the KBF monthlies, you know what I mean? Where everybody's doing it, beginning of the year, and then it's like same guy wins the first month, and then the guy wins the second month, and then the third month is there's like 5 people fishing it, and that's the reason why. We hear people say it. You know what I mean? I'm not fishing it because I can't fish enough. So you give it a week, and everybody has a shot. That's how I see it. And I think you saw that last year. I think, different people won. And I think that was the reason. Because, you pick a week and it's a bad week. You know what I mean? It's raining, it's cold, whatever it is, it's tough. You have to step up, you know. And some people, it just when you give them a month or longer, they're gonna have that perfect day, you know, or days to make it happen, and they're gonna put up 100+ inches, you know. So
I think that's it.
yeah,
That's all she wrote.
pick 8 days a month. Yeah, you can't do that because then you know if you could pick days, everybody would just pick the weekends, and you know. But yeah, the Fish of Chaos doesn't have that kind of capability. I'm sure they could do it, but would they do it just for one group? Probably not. John Denver was full of shit. Was he? What the hell?
Why is John Denver? Why is he catching shrapnel?
I don't know. I'm missing the context on that one, but
It's because we brought up Colorado, but
oh my God.
all right, we're drifting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no more questions. That'll wrap it. We'll do write-ups. You know, I'll do write-ups, more details. We'll get everything updated on the websites, in the files section on the Facebook group page. And also let me know if you want me to keep the members only page around. That was kind of an idea that we had, but nobody uses it. So if anybody likes that group, let me know. If not, I will ice it. Put an end to it. Put it out of its misery.
Great segue. Like my Facebook page that I just did
Yeah.
last week.
That's exactly I told you that was going to happen.
I tried to do something. It didn't work. So anybody who I friended on Facebook as Sean the Fisherman, I killed that account. I made a page for myself. That's what I was trying to do in the first place. And Ken had a complete laugh at me the whole time I worked my way through it, but I finally got to where I wanted to go. It was just linking it up with Instagram, and there were major issues with that. And I found out, Ken, did I tell you the resolution of that?
No.
There was a setting regarding sharing buried not in my Instagram, but in my Facebook page. On that page, not my profile, but my Sean the Fisherman page. And right. I had to go in and dig that up and fix it, which was a pain in the ass. So if anybody ever tries to do that, message me, send me a message. I'll help you. I'll walk you through it so you don't have to endure the misery I did. Yeah, the Sean the Fisherman page is there. Go ahead and like it because I only have one fan. It's Ken.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and do yourself a favor. If you want to have like a separate fishing page, don't create a separate account. Create an actual page, because I did the same thing a long time ago. I tried to separate these two worlds. I had an author world where I was doing all my writing and all that stuff, and they were all liberals, and then I had a bunch of anglers, and they were all conservatives, and they kept fighting on my page, and I was getting sick of it. You know, one side's calling the other side of racist, and the other side's calling those guys libtards, and it was ugly. So I unfriended like all the writers. I created a writing page, and then it's just a pain in the balls because you have to sign in and out of two different pages or accounts, Facebook accounts, and it just doesn't work. So create a page. Do yourself a favor, because Sean, you created another account.
Yeah, which
a regular account.
When I talked, you have gone through this, so I was getting information from you how to fix it, and then. Bobby Roast Beef is obviously a social media whiz, and he saw what I did and said, "Hey, I think you just committed identity theft on yourself." And I'm like, "Well, it's me. I don't mind, but I fixed it." So there's a page there. Go ahead and jump on that. I have been posting stuff. It's basically an echo of my Instagram account. So if somebody doesn't have Instagram, they can see what I'm doing there on Facebook. So there you go. But I went ahead and made that account, refriended everybody that was a fisherman because, I love some of my relatives, but they're posting on fishing stuff like, "Oh, what's that? What kind of fish is that? Or what's the lure?" And I'm like, all right, these two worlds are colliding. I didn't have the problems you did, thankfully, but I was having some issues.
Now I just have people calling everybody libtards, but just not my friends, because I'm friends with all fishermen now.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you and John.
Yeah.
So, and this we could probably wind the night up on because it's relevant. But as far as recaps for events. What are you guys going to do? Are you going to handle East and West and EKF and KBF? Or are you going to kind of let us go to town with the West and anything I participate in on Jigs and Bigs? How are we going to, where should people know to look for their reviews is what I'm getting at.
I don't know.
Recaps.
Yeah, we haven't really actually put any thought into that. So
yeah, we haven't decided. We can discuss it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go forth and continue to do what I did last year where, if you're in the Western Division, if you're fishing EKF events, and anything basically I participate in, I'll cover because I just kind of like Bobby and I do a week in review every week.
Right.
And then sometimes last year I would break in with Eastern stuff if it was, I mean, obviously you guys are going to hate me saying this, but I did say congrats to Bruce because that bag was ridiculous on the Nashua. Stuff like that pops up. We're not exclusive to Western Mass. We do, believe it or not, have a worldwide audience on that show. And the Western Division, we talk about it quite a bit because it's me, it's Nelson, it's Bobby. We're
Right.
doing it. But Eastern guys, we're including you as well. So you're going to hear EKF stuff. You're going to hear major Eastern stuff. You're going to hear KBF stuff. So, but if you guys are going to cover the East and then your perspectives on all that other stuff, people, our groups have a lot to listen to.
Yeah.
For
So it's
sure.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
I think it's basically free reign. Honestly, I mean, it works
Yeah,
both
we-
ways.
Yeah, we could have
I like
people on
that
both.
idea.
We could have them on both. I mean, if you guys want to have somebody on the West, somebody from the West on Jigs and Bigs, we can do it. We can have them on ours as well.
Yeah.
This one. So yeah.
Swap them.
Whatever works.
Cool. All right.
All right, guys. If you can still post questions here on this video, and we'll get to them later. If you have any more, if you think of anything else, or if you come and watch it later, go for it.
Cool. Thanks for having us
Wonderful.
on. And looking
All right,
forward to
guys.
this year.
You
Yeah,
guys
thanks for
have
having
a
us.
Wonderful night. How you guys well, we'll talk after about ice, but
This weekend.
I'm hoping.
I'm on the ice this weekend.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful night.
Yeah, thanks, John. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah.
All right.
Take
See
care,
you guys.
Nell.
Thanks, guys.
Ending. It's just going in circles right now.